There's no more room for speculation. The Pittsburgh Steelers have made it clear they're not interested in bringing certain players into the fold, and that decisively puts rumors to rest. But while all eyes are on what the team won't do, it's what they have done and what they haven't done yet that truly tells the story heading into 2025. To understand the gravity of this offseason, we need to travel back to a pivotal chapter in the franchise's recent history. The 2019 season may not have ended with a postseason appearance, but it remains one of the most underrated achievements in head coach Mike Tomlin's illustrious career. With legendary quarterback Ben Roethlisberger suffering a devastating elbow injury that required surgery to repair 3 tendons in his throwing arm, Pittsburgh was thrown into chaos at the most critical position in the sport. Most teams would have folded, but not the Steelers. Determined not to let the season slip away, the front office made a bold, franchise-shifting move. They traded their 2020 first-round pick to the Miami Dolphins for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. At the time, it was a controversial decision. Surrendering such a high-value asset mid-season is rare, especially for a team with a murky playoff outlook. But it didn't take long for the gamble to pay off. Fitzpatrick immediately elevated the defense, becoming a cornerstone in the secondary and one of the most talked-about defenders in the NFL. Fast forward a few years, and the narrative has taken a sharp turn. Once seen as a game-changing force, Fitzpatrick's recent play has drawn skepticism. Since the start of the 2023 season, he's logged just 1 interception. For a safety of his caliber, a player once feared by quarterbacks and admired by analysts, that's a concerning drop in production. Steelers fans, known for their passion and high expectations, have taken notice. The once unquestioned star now finds himself under a magnifying glass. This offseason, defensive headlines are largely dominated by another superstar, T.J. Watt. The elite edge rusher, widely viewed as a future Hall of Famer, is entering the final stretch of his current contract, and negotiations for a new deal are expected to take center stage. Watt remains the face of the Steelers' defense, and the team has made it clear he's the priority. But what about Minkah? During a recent fan Q&A session hosted by longtime Steelers insider Jerry Dulac, the question came up: what's the outlook for contract extensions, specifically for both Watt and Fitzpatrick? Dulac didn't hesitate. He confirmed that the team is actively looking to secure Watt's future. But as for Fitzpatrick, he's not even on the list, at least not yet. That revelation should raise some red flags. Fitzpatrick is still under contract through the 2026 season, but the lack of movement on an extension and the silence surrounding his long-term future suggests the organization may be re-evaluating his role. The Steelers aren't exactly loaded with depth at the safety position, so Fitzpatrick's diminished play creates both a performance issue and a roster dilemma. Make no mistake, 2025 is a critical season for Fitzpatrick. This is a prove-it year, plain and simple. A bounce-back campaign could put him in line for one final lucrative extension, possibly cementing his legacy in Pittsburgh. But another lackluster performance could spell the end of his time in black and gold. If he doesn't return to form, he could become a trade candidate as early as the 2026 offseason, a move that might free up cap space for offensive reinforcements. It's worth noting that some of Fitzpatrick's recent struggles may be scheme-related. Changes to Pittsburgh's defensive philosophy could be limiting his playmaking opportunities. Once a free-roaming menace capable of flipping a game with a single read, Fitzpatrick now appears more constrained, less instinctual. The physical tools are still there. He remains one of the most athletic players on the roster, but he needs to be put in position to thrive again. Meanwhile, the Steelers' offensive woes have continued to weigh heavily on the franchise. For years, Pittsburgh has boasted a formidable defense, while the offense has floundered in inconsistency. Quarterback play, offensive line struggles, and lackluster scheming have all contributed to a unit that too often stalls in key moments. The imbalance is glaring. In today's NFL, success hinges on being competitive on both sides of the ball. Defense may win championships, but offense wins games in a pass-heavy league. And right now, Pittsburgh isn't winning enough. With what expected to command top dollar and offensive needs mounting, the front office may soon face a difficult decision. Keep investing in a declining safety, or reallocate those resources to spark life into a lagging offense. In the end, Fitzpatrick's future with the Steelers will come down to what he delivers on the field in 2025. It's a crossroads season for a player who once looked like a long-term defensive anchor. Whether he reclaims his dominant form or becomes another cautionary tale remains to be seen. But one thing's for certain, the clock is ticking